Islam is natural. And that's why it appeals to so many people. Once they get through the propaganda and they get through the misinformation and stuff like that, and they actually experience it, you got a lot of people over in Qatar now, Westerners that never been in a Muslim country before and never seen Islam. A lot of people just get it, right? I mean, look at what men have to deal with in the society, in the Western society. We have a crisis for men, right? They feel extremely, pushed out of sort of education and employment, and they're kind of belittled, and they're all these sorts of things, and they feel resentful. They feel disempowered, right? What's the role for them? You've got women, okay? We've got all the TikTok and Instagram and all these sorts of different social media, and you've got people making OnlyFans and all these sorts of crazy things, selling their bodies, literally selling their bodies. And then you run into something like Islam, and it's like men are supposed to be responsible, and women are supposed to be modest and dignified, and men are supposed to be modest and dignified, and women are supposed to be responsible, and everybody's just like, hey, this makes sense. It makes a whole lot more sense than what is going on now in mainstream culture. You read crazy things, like somebody made an OnlyFans for their mom, and they're making money off of it. Like, what sort of sickness is this? And then somebody comes, and if somebody were to even take a picture of somebody's mom in a place like Qatar or Saudi Arabia, they'd get beaten up right on the spot. There'd be a fight. Honor, dignity, truth, real things that people care about, right? And every place has its problems. We're not going to, put anybody on the face of the earth right now up on a pedestal, right? Because we're, as Muslims, we know that a lot of the Muslim societies are far from the Islamic ideal. But there's still something that shines through. You've got people in the West, they throw away their old folks into some sort of home, don't visit them for years until they die. And they're just worried about the inheritance and how to split up the money, where that's considered a huge, huge faux pas in the Middle East. Like, you couldn't do that without being talked about, without being sort of punished in some sort of way. Okay? People get it. They come like, yes, this is the way that human life is supposed to be. The human life is supposed to have purpose. Everybody's supposed to have a role. Those roles aren't all the same. Let's come down to earth a little bit. Let's put our feet on the ground, and let's actually talk about real stuff and what makes a meaningful life. And I think a lot of people realize that Islam is very, very compatible and facilitates towards a meaningful and dignified life.